So here's my plan. With all the projects that I'm doing as a company, as a founder, I hope that I could share that stuff, at least a little bit of it, and then tell you what I was thinking in creating it. If this is your first time seeing me talk about my business, the company I own is called Vid Project. It's a company that I run with my girlfriend, and what we both do is we create content for experts, online experts, brands, companies, for online presence and consistency. We live in the world now more than ever, moving forward 2020 all the way up. Even prior to that, it was extremely important, but more than ever now is we're really competing for attention online, on the online space. So I think what made me do this, because what I do is I have a monthly package with experts, and in that month we film a certain amount of videos, we brainstorm, we talk about other things that are occurring in their industry, and then we just come up with ideas. Eventually some people have teams, some people actually have a conversation with me and then get ideas out, and then basically we then go into a different process, which then allows us to shoot the content easier. And I'm going to try to be as entertaining as possible, because I'm not that entertaining sometimes. I remember having conversations with my stepdad, and I think I was singing one time, and I was a little kid. But he told me something that really was like, it stuck to me till this day. I still talk about it. It's just people tell me, you have a monotone voice. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to change my voice. So I'm learning. I actually bought an audiobook about speaking, and it's very fascinating. Like, there's certain things that I've learned that I now, when I'm looking at speakers, I'm like, oh, okay, this all makes sense now. So I'm not saying I've mastered it. I'm not even close, but I'm hoping enough of this, then I'll be able to. But anyways, right after New Year's Eve, I filmed some content with my girlfriend. We actually just got on camera, and we just talked about our New Year's resolution. I actually said my resolution was to have no resolution. And the reason why is because I don't want to feel like a failure. Like the feeling of failing, like when you miss like 1 or 2 days of something you told yourself you were going to do, you have this feeling of, I don't know, it slows you down. And then it allows you to like keep messing up. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not that disciplined enough. I mentioned this in a post of mine that I have 3 words that are just going to kind of drive me. And I did this practice a long time ago. One is to stay calm. Like, through everything that I do is to stay calm. I can't really go too deep into what I mean, but just know that, man, I'm getting gray hairs, so I gotta calm. I gotta stay calm. That's one thing. The second word is precision. Precision, to me, there's a lot of things when it comes to the word precision. Like a sharpshooter, a sniper, you gotta go for that goal. So time it takes. There's just so many components when it comes to the word precision. But I'm just gonna share those two for right now. You could find out what the third word is when I decide to share that on a different time. Next piece of content. So on the 4th, I remember jumping on call with a woman named Whitney, who's a part of a company called Moxra, and they have a client portal slash app type company. And I had this conversation. So, a large goal that I have is to build an application that I could communicate with a lot of videographers and a lot of clients, and or they themselves can have this application where it just makes a lot of the things that we do as creative, as videographers, easier. Things like revision time, timeline, scripting, voices. And I know there's applications, there's other things out there, but so far all the ones that I've tried I don't like. What I liked about this company, at least what they offered, was there's a portal that a client will see. It'll tell them what they have to do. So if I sent them something, it'll actually tell them what they have to do. And it's a communication between me and that person, or me and that company. So that way I'm not using a Slack, a direct message, text message, email. Like, I'm not using all these things to communicate. It's straight like, hey, look at your portal. That's what you have to do. and, you know, voila. I'll go into it maybe on a different video to share what the process actually looks like when it comes to filming multiple pieces of content. So on the 5th, I Zoom's the shit. I don't know if you know this, but Zoom's the shit. Saves so much time. You know, when people tell me, I wish I would have done this like way long time ago. Like, let's meet up for coffee. I really don't want to always meet up for coffee to talk to somebody unless it's just so much time. And in the position that I'm in right now, it just, there's a lot of work that I have to do and too much to explain, right? I think you as a business owner understand, like, when you're working on multiple projects, each project requires a certain amount of attention, but then your energy levels as well is like you go somewhere and you come back and your energy levels are not the same to continue working on the projects. Maybe you are, maybe you're an anomaly. I've learned to like understand my body enough to know that I don't always want to go do certain things like meet up or it takes too time. The drive time, the energy, what I'm listening to takes a lot of energy, you know, music, podcast, whatever the case. Then I have to actually have the conversation. And then sometimes when you're in person, you just want to chill and you want to kick it longer. So, you know, your scheduled meeting for an hour could last maybe 3 hours, and then you come back and you still have work to do. So I've really gotten comfortable. Last year I was getting comfortable. Year prior to that, 2019, I was getting really comfortable as well. But Zoom is awesome. So if you're a business owner or if you're a creative, learn to start communicating through Zoom. That's one thing. I guess that's so far a piece of advice I would share to you is use Zoom. Okay, that day, what I did is I Zoomed with my friend Aaron, who was asking me things about a studio space that she's trying to purchase because she wants to do several other things that will involve other creative people. But, you know, it's just a great idea. I don't want to give it away because it's a really great idea. So had a conversation with her later that day. I worked on a doctor's video. So she's a doctor and she specializes in fertility. And I guess this is where I could actually talk to you about what it is working with this specific individual. What we did is we had a Zoom call a long time ago. In that Zoom call, I asked certain preliminary questions to understand where you're at in your business and what are you looking for. You know what? We'll talk about that a different day too. So fast forward, we end up working together, and in the videos, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to come from the perspective of the viewer, and some of the videos we recorded were really long and we had to take away all the scientific jargon out and, you know, cut it down because we want the viewer to understand what they're trying to say. Maybe she's communicating to a viewer that really understands this stuff, and then these words will trigger them to act or pay attention more. But I always try to make our videos very digestible. So it's awesome. She's talking about exercise. She also has, you know, about sleeping. We did a video about environmental toxins, and that later that night I ended up linking up with Greg, who's a musician. Greg's awesome, like extremely talented. If you've followed me long enough, you know that I've hung out with Greg a lot. I used to film Greg, and Greg right now as a musician, he's trying to learn how to strategize and maneuver with this online only. No, you can't throw shows anymore. So he was telling me about his marketing plan, and, you know, he loves to take charge of his own creative content. We could give him the input. You know, he goes to a lot of people and gets advice, and he does a lot of the things that people share, and he's a sponge. He uses it, and it's great that when he showed me some of the things he's doing I remember we talked about it a while ago, but something, this is where the creative in me enjoys, I guess, thinking about what's the future like for musicians. I listened to this audio book recently. They share in that audiobook, they share a story about a musician and what the musician had to do to maneuver within the industry. And, you know, they built a great online platform. And what he was doing is on that online platform, he built like forums or a way to communicate to his potential viewers or his viewers. And he would like trickle out videos, and then he would get people, he would get his fans to talk about the song, whether it's garbage or good or not good. And I thought it was fascinating. I was thinking of the musician. Why aren't more musicians taking charge of the online platform? They're really relying on stream services, and stream services, I guess they make it really easy for you to make some, I guess, get heard without like you need a platform to be heard. And these platforms allow you to get heard really fast versus you creating your own platform and then just driving traffic. But at the end, like, you're not making much income using a platform until you're in the billions and millions of followers. I don't know. So I just thought about that. Like, I think musicians should somehow maybe have a mix of streaming content, but also like, hey, if you want to hear more, go to my support me as a musician. And what's cool that I've noticed now more than ever is that people have more than one talent. And early on, you would hear this a lot. You can't do a lot. You can't do a lot. You can't juggle a lot. I think you can. You just have to be smart about it. When did I film? Before New Year's. Dang. I actually wanted to talk about a video we filmed with this company called Lumion. I totally forgot. But that was literally like a couple of days before New Year's. Actually, was it New Year's? New Year's Eve? I don't know. But that was a fun video. I wanted to share the process. On the 7th, on the 7th, we actually met up with Jasmine and we filmed. Aisha created a whole bunch of uh, powerful TikTok reel videos. So what she does is create amazing, short, powerful, consumable content that really gets you. It's entertaining. It's extremely entertaining, but also if there's a lot of value in it. Um, so I, there's going to be a day where she could jump on here and actually walk you through her process on how she does that. But, on that day, what we do is since we already talked to her team on this day, we had a timesheet and a shot list already created. And thank you. Shout out to Christina on that one. And we just followed it. So I think I had 5 videos that I had to create. We ended up shooting only 4. We're going to move one over to a different day. But then we also had like 5 TikToks to create, along with creating some photos. There you have it. That is my up-to-date content. This segment is called Creating Project, and what we are creating is a video company. So I hope I'm just putting this out. I'm going to tweak it and work on this a little bit more. I want to do something different, but also share content that I've created, So if you want to know more about what it is that I do, please feel free to reach me at info@thevidproject.com, or you could click the link wherever I decide to put the link, below or on my bio, and find out or see what we can do.